I like DC better this game. I like the drop better too.
Against him than the Void, just because I think Void will match up pretty well against Lifestealer and Disruptor. But the difference is right now is that KP was able to get his ward down that blocks away the hard camp. This is really limiting the pull of Digital Chaos.
This mid lane, Kaka's actually in a lot of trouble. The prep was being worked so hard by Misery. That Sato was chasing him around for a good minute and a half. Normally when they've got that, they've got like Chuan over online. He's able to get that first initiation, turning the fights in, like from 5v5 into 4v5, and NewBee had that advantage too.
KP.
Oh yeah, with the Scarabeels coming out, KP, there's extra help coming in from Misery, and maybe they can hold him in position. Yep, they will. Misery again, a second successful movement from him.
So Tidehunter has a good amount of survivability now. As long as he didn't get crushed in level 1 or 2, he was naturally going to do okay.
I do like the build. Oh, Howard mid lane with that Disruptor ulti. Weeha's locked in. The Exorcism is not going to do enough. And the TP support that was arriving from DC does not come in time, so now it's the mid of NewBee.
The time before the hero has the opportunity to respond, because if you don't kill the Tide within the Chronosphere timing and he gets off the Ravage, the fight's immediately lost.
Visitor's going to back out. KP revealing that Blink Dagger he went for. No mech this time around. He wants to get aggressive up against Misery. The mech will happen for Misery as he continues to retreat out. Hand of God is also up his sleeve if he wants to, and they move around the tree lines but relocate. It comes in. The Ravage able to click on both of the DC heroes, but how much more can they get? The Hand of God will kick in. Dusk's finally going to go down, and Misery will join him. To the Ravage committal does work for him. Resolution, well, he's going to get locked in. The Static Storm! Resolution can't get himself away! Digital Chaos! They end up giving 3 hero kills over to NewBee. Resolution coming in for the consolation prize, but he ended up giving it to DC. 2 towers. The trade-off is a little bit of damage to the tier 2 tower up on top, but Chuan in position for that middle lane, gonna look for Moo. Moo jumps in, nice Chronosphere, finding Chuan. KP gonna join him as well. Weeha lets the oldie rip with a follow-up stance. There won't be any Ravage until, for a second, now it's available. The Disruptor, Chuan's already gone down. Weeha trying to get that space, goes into the tree line. Now the Ravage will connect. Weeha into the tree lines. Can he stay alive? He's still being chased down by Hal, but nope, you can delete Weeha from this fight. There's still a chase going on mid lane with Misery being chased down by Moo. There's too much slow with the Viper Strike as well. Misery's got a mech charge, but doesn't even expend it. He accepts the fact that he's dead. And NewBee, they are just so strong here. That pickoff did not come fast enough for DC.
Yeah, did you...
That thing too is like, if you look back at that fight, like the Chronosphere wasn't bad. You got the perfect control over on the Tidehunter. Then there was the follow-up silence from the Death Prophet. You had all these things working for you. The only issue is you just didn't see inside the trees. So you couldn't inflict the damage from the Lion. That Finger of Death took a little too long to get out. And now Moo, okay, well, Chuan, they still have the vision, then they glimpse him straight back into that ultimate. So Moo trucks in here with KP. They're going to relocate down towards this as well. So Moo will die. Okay, well, this NewBee lamp is still going to kill us all.
There is absolutely going to be a point in time where Digital Chaos can win 5-man fights, but it's going to be super late in the game at this point.
Glimpse back over, and now it's going to be Moo who goes down.
Because at this point in time, NewBee will always have a gold advantage. Like, he had maybe like one more core position. It looks like maybe the Void's going to rotate up. They need to try and pick off from behind one of these heroes that goes for the split push. So if they can actually kill Kaka here by Lion coming in from behind, burst him down with a Finger of Death, and then surround the Viper, who's tanky as all hell, but won't be able to have an escape mechanism, this could actually work out really well, but we'll see.
Thanks to the Observer what they had, they know that you actually have Kaka behind, and there it is. Yep, they jump in, they find Kaka. Chen's gone down in the meantime to Misery, so maybe this isn't the best trade-off. They need to find that core. They need Moo to die on bottom lane at the same time. The tier 2 tower's being pressured, and they're having to chase a long, long way to find Moo. Weehan will finally send him up with that Yule Scepter, and with the extra support coming in from Lion, it will be 2 heroes gone, but bottom lane, you still have issues. It's Hal beating into that bottom tower, doing terrible, terrible damage, bringing it down by 50% already, and nothing's really going to stop him. What's Resolution going to do? They can move out, they can maybe gank up and track down anything.
Now it's a bit too late, and NewBee will be able to get their 5-man right outside the tier 3 range.
Oh, Hal just keeps beating into it. He doesn't care as long as he's got the Aegis Immortal bottom lane. They find Lion. So say goodbye to your burst damage. Moo jumps out. He finds KP, but that damage is so minimal. They'll force staff him away. So KP will survive. Weeha, Yule Scepter's up defensively. The Finger of Death will not get off KP. They'll let the Ravage go, catching up 3 of DC. Still walking away. KP will survive. The Dark Rewave's giving him the vision. Death Prophet is down. You bought back on your Lion, trying to find that extra burst damage quickly. That is just NewBee. They reset out. KP's not a healthy man, but you don't care. You got Hal on the front lines.
Yeah, you could see NewBee are just simply too far ahead. The fact that they went for that Chronosphere and weren't even close to killing KP fast enough to prevent the Ravage from going off. That's the only way they win that team fight right there.
All they need. The problem is the only hero that's showing themselves in the top lane currently is Hao, and they do not have the damage to kill him off.
Yeah, they would need like 3 or 4 heroes of Digital Chaos just to be able to have a chance at killing Hao. They're going to run into him now, but he gets off the rage too quickly.
Yep.
Fed to the Lions. All right,
that's the upside.
NewBee are like, okay, look at the clock. It's about time to end the game. If they wanted to, they could really sit back and wait for Roshan.
Moo. Okay, he's going to jump himself away, glimpse back over, and that's what Sean was waiting for. Pulling back into the Static Storm instead of just starting with the Static Storm. Good fight. They'll take Roshan next time when he's up, which is, in fact, now. So they'll just slip inside the pit, and DC, it's like their only chance is to come down here and hope for just one hell of a Chronosphere, but NewBee understand this. And that's why they're waiting. They move up, they break the smoke, nice, and there's a shot. KP hits the entire team. Say goodbye to Resolution, and say goodbye to DC. That game is over. KP just basically sealed that one so perfect. They saw them coming from a mile away, and DC will be wiped by NewBee here in game 1 of this best of 3.
Win here in game number 1. I mean, if the analysts all agreed, and I was with them, I thought Digital...
Thanks, Red. Yep, we're back for game number 2 with DC going up against NewBee.
And there's a little extra. Misery going to try and wrap on mid. NewBee already have a very defensive counter ward laid in place, so Moo shouldn't be caught out by this.
Yeah, the only downside as well is, well, not secondary downside. Top lane. There goes your first blood. Weaver going very, very deep underneath the tower and found Moo in between the tree line to really zone out KP or really put him in any kind of peril where you'd find a kill. But they're really just trying to poke and prod. Now Resolution, Wolves are up. There you go with the Paralyzing Cast. You start with the Maledict, but because you've already used a stun, Sunstrike comes in, it's enough! KP will end up dropping. While up on the top lane, you're going to end up losing that Bat Rider. Sean was actually walking through the Firefly, dropping very, very low. I don't know if Misery can actually... Now that Sean walked through that Firefly, he may just have enough damage to kill off Sean. The dust will come up. There's no more strike to come, but Sean, the movement speed, the Orb of Venom is able to tick him out. And Misery, the dust will still last another 3 seconds.
Yeah,
and Hal knows he cannot kill him off. This Tidehunter at level 4, or just shy of level 4, and there's no ancient stacks like there were in game number 1, which just propelled his farm forward. Chuan, now the smoke, he's there on Misery, and Misery, well, the sentry's down, they know exactly what's going on. Stun over towards Weeha, and Misery, well, he actually takes one of them, the Sunstrike. Chuan, he feels it coming and moves away, as now Moo, underneath that tier 1 tower, trying to engage in. He's got one more Spirit Slap with but he's way too deep with the call, so he can't finish the job. And it's DC who will end up punishing the over-aggressive Moo.
It's valuable. Here, though, he's level 6 is delayed. It's going to be expected, and they have the information to his
Moo is about to get nailed, as Lycan is also rotated in the double support through on the way, but a Sunstrike from Invoker. Weeha prepped it perfectly with the Cold Snap. And having Misery on the tail of the Death Prophet, she just couldn't walk away. You'd assume, hey, he could just be jungling camping, but no, they rotate in towards the mid, they add a little bit of pressure, and they force the rotations in from NewBee.
They do have a small ancient stack.
Well, at least you're going to get yourself a courier snipe. But Hal, well, they don't have detection against him. As in fact, it's the Observer and Sentry that's down from NewBee, which allows them to see Misery. Dust will trigger as well. Tries to put down that smoke screen, create a little bit more space. Misery will get back over the river, but damn, that damages so much, especially when you got the Beetles in the back. Luckily, Moo can move up and down, but then again, KP, you're a little close. Moo, okay, he will actually die. To, in fact, Hal.
They desperately needed some backup.
But they have to also understand that NewBee is missing so many players on the map. KP moves into the mid lane to try and defend that one, so you have engagements on both lanes. As now, you have Moo running into the tree lines. KP's going to die to that mid lane. The Sunstrike's right in the mark, so they find the kill in mid while Moo retreats back off that top. They still find the Raw, so it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Both the off-laners will go down.
He could have split-pushing lineup like this. Digital Chaos are much better. They should have been pressuring, continue to pressure top with the Regain, with the Bat Rider, and have Weeha and Resolution do exactly what they're doing now. Go for the mid-tier 2. There's no reason to fight NewBee if they're going to fight this.
Wait for those cancelling of the TPs. Not possible from Moo. He's in the neighborhood. So tier 2 tower killed off by the Lycan. Beastmaster got the other one. Ravage goes off in mid while the battle is still happening on bottom lane. He'll die on that mid lane, but now Death Ward, the roar from Kaka must be committed. You got the Lycan right behind him. Resolution, that damage on the Moo. The Witch Doctor will survive, keeping the restoration up. Now you can move over to Kaka, still slowed down by those 3 sticky napalm charges. You can trigger off the dust, which will give an opportunity here for Hal to chase down Misery over to the tree lines. With Chikuchi, he will definitely keep up. Sentries down for the Radiant side. Misery targets the push screen down. He had 1 second time with the ulti. Maybe now we can with the ulti. They bring down Hal. Misery with a double kill. They'll move over towards Chorn and NewBee. This is a horrible trade for them, losing 4 heroes. Even with a tower trade-off like that, DC just got a huge injection of money. Going to slip themselves in now, but DC, they were farming up the side lanes. They're actually going to smoke up themselves and move over to Roshan. The Wolf, it saw them go in, and now NewBee know it. The lasso catching Chorn. There's the easy counter to the lasso. So Chorn, he's still going to go down. Nothing will survive it, and now Roshan killed by the Dire. Weaver has the immortality, but Paralyzing Cast can make it difficult to get out of here. Also, the Exorcism is wearing off. They have to know. They won't have the timing, and move! The Flame Break! He's actually clipped for the moment. The Ravage from KP tries to create space, but really it does absolutely nothing. Now he's got Maldig on top of him, combining him with Death Ward. KP must retreat out of this one. Misery's got trouble with the Necrobooks. Riding your tail, he has to go back invis. And maybe, yep, there he is. He's actually away. So you kill off the VS. Hal wants to go for something else. Ichikuchi's through. Heavy damage with the bugs over on the Witch Doctor. They need to keep Hal off him. Back behind the T1 tower. They can play around the vision, but now Hal will just silence away. They got to get that bug off him, which now is able to be done. So Hal still wants more. He's hiding in the trees, looking for something. They want to force the advantage. They want to use this Aegis for good, but they're just not finding anything at the moment.
How is playing this correctly? He's using the Aegis to aggressively push back Digital Chaos because they don't have an exorcism, so they need to be able to utilize this Aegis to be played around that well, but are they going to be able to hold the next team fight? KP, it'll be a different one for him because I think they're going to wait for his Blink Dagger rather, so he won't have the same kind of positioning issues as he did last time.
And this is an early triggering on the Necrobook. It's like they're trying to find the Invis heroes. They run into him. Resolution goes Dogform. Chorn again. He's the primary target. He lasted up by Moo, but Resolution's dying so quickly. He won't be able to survive much longer. In fact, now he is down. Paralyzing can't make it easy either because both Kaka as well as Chorn could not escape. Misery will go into the dagger form now, backing out with that smoke screen covering up most of the riverside.
Oh, he killed the
goes
Necro!
down. He didn't want to kill the Necro. Hal will run down through the river. They've lost 3 now, and it's unwillingly. He can't do anything against that, however. He can't control his exorcism.
The sad thing is, that could have been even worse for NewBee.
And there's like a couple of minutes left now, NewBee. And they're coming towards the mid, but again, DC pretty much ready for him. There's your Blink Dagger in. Moo. This time he's going to get stunned up, so no lasso control. The smoke screen tries to create space, and then Chorn swapping him up, but they can't control the ice wall. Actually locking Chorn in the river. He signs the Death Ward. KP's almost walked into Sunstrike, but on the backline, the Ravage. This time from KP does a little bit of work, but it's already too late. He's lost so much life. He'll go down. Kaka will join him as well on the grave, and it's Hal underneath the Sentry Ward. They saw him for a moment, got the call snap off. Secondary Sentry, keep the vision. The time that strikes him all the way back into the mid lane. Thanks to the Radiant creep wave that was already there, they saw him run into the jungle, but that's 3 heroes down from NewBee. No,
yeah, very
and maybe
smart.
They don't care. Now NewBee are actually stranded on bottom lane. DC can move in towards the mid. They start to push the tier 3 tower. NewBee have to come back. The Adire Observe Ward is seeing perfect position. That's only the Sentry. They don't see him on the Batrider. Now they will. But where is your opening? Where's your target? And that's what it's going to be. Trick to the tray will allow Misery to escape, but now that's we've got Moo. Can they kill him off in time though? Weehar is there with EMP burn. NewBee going to do this with only a half tank of gas. They need more damage. Now the Death Ward's kicking in. Moo's actually going to survive through this one. He's trying to get rid of the bug. Not going to happen. Hal's able to find a couple of kills. But now, maybe DC. They are on the run. KP. No, Moo's going to go down. DC are back in control. KP will go down too. The Sunstrike perfectly positioned. Say goodbye to him. The Weaver is the last man standing. Hal needs to get something huge here. He's already got a triple kill, but the team asks more of him, or else this mid-Drax is toast.
He doesn't have his ultimate either. Caught by the tornado.
The tornado! Will he have enough life? Chikuchi away?
Oh, Weeha's got the right idea. He's like, no, ignore the Weaver. Ignore the Weaver. He can only do so much. If we stay grouped up, we pressure the tier 3. This is the time for us to be able to punish NewBee. We just want a team fight right outside the base.
They need the racks. They need the racks. They even attempted just a rando Sunstrike to maybe catch him as he went back. And they realize they can't take the melee. They'll go for the range. No more risk. Chorn is back up. Potentially a really, really poor position. Could find themselves Oh, it's all sprung. The Wolves walked inside the pit underneath the sentry ward. So they're sitting there for the moment. Here comes the second set. Wait for him to come in, and Lycan triggers his Necro box. They look for the target. It's going to be Chuan to start with. Tornado picking up KP with the EMP. KP will still get the ulti off, catching out 3 with a roll, but Hal's already down. They've lost the win with no buyback. Move side of the meteorite. Karka's gone. This game may actually just be almost over right now when they get 3 huge kills like that. You take Roshan, you know DC. They're headed straight mid after this.
Oh, absolutely. Even if they already popped the shapeshift in the Necro book, it doesn't matter. You kept all 5 alive and will be able to push within Aegis.
She can tank through so much. It's a 60-second cooldown. These fights have been dragging on so long. He actually can feel confident enough to use that ultimate form already before the Aegis Immortal will trigger. Drops down by half-life. They 4-staff him out. That's the first one over on the Witch Doctor with EMP Tornado, picking him up, throwing him down. Karka, he's AC out of mana with the Necro book to the front line. Flame Break pushes him back. KP, he wants to ravage, but there's no real opportunity just yet. The Meg Charge will have to trigger. They're in pretty deep, but where's the opening? Now the ravage will come through, but How is so low. No time left to battle. He's on the sidelines. No buyback. NewBee, they've lost this game.
They've done it.
It is actually going to go to a third deciding game after NewBee crushed the living hell out of DC in game 1.
The mental fortitude to come back from a game 1 crushing like this, and they look like an entirely different team. They just midway through clearing through stacks again.
Well, here he comes in towards the middle lane. Starts with Chuan, goes for the stun. Moo starts with the Spirit Siphons. Weeha, he needs help. He's TPing in right now in the form of the Bounty Hunter. But Weeha, how much life? The stun raised out from Karka. He'll trigger the Dust, which actually reveals the Bounty Hunter. He can't get the kill over on the Phoenix, and now may lose his own life. The stun from Chuan will connect the tower to attack damage. Also doesn't do enough. They tag teamed it around their line, so Chuan and Karka are so low.
He'll be able to buy space for the Disruptor to get his level 6 sooner.
Weeha may possibly actually just walk straight away safely.
Moo was picking up the runes, so he wasn't around.
Now the stun. Weeha came back in again. The sun ray's going to turn on, and Weeha, he is going to burn right now. Like an Englishman in the sun, he will die underneath the tier 1 tower. 3 hero kills now going the way of NewBee, and that's Moo with Exorcism. They're going to do a lot of damage this tier 1.
Yeah, these kind of supports are always free to rotate when you have a safe laner like Slark, because Batrider can't abuse him. In fact, How, if he gets this pounce, he might even get the kill. Moo trying to juke it out, but not going to be able to get it. Pounce lands, and that should be a free kill.
Perfect spill damage. This is NewBee. We had game number 1 was pretty dominating side. Now the middle lane, the fight's going to keep going. Moo wants to force us out a little bit harder. That Exorcism still got a couple of seconds left. Resolution burning. Karka, the damage is too much. Misery trying to glimpse him away. You'll still end up losing the Death Prophet here.
That play is actually what kind of makes that even trade-off.
And they're not going to stop here, DC. They're bringing more and more numbers towards the mid. The Bounty's been sitting in the back lines, but here they go again, realizing the Weeha can be initiated on. Moo now rotates over, looking for the kill over on Chuan, but Sunray does so much until the glimpse pulls him far enough away. Weeha gets back up the hill. Now the cooldown can connect. You've already brought down the Lion thanks to the Batrider, and with the damage, have they got enough going underneath the tower? Karka's going to drop. You've got the support from DC. Moo is still burning inside the Firefly, but he wants the kill over on Moo. The Firefly will run out. They get a revenge kill over on the Batrider, but DC trying to preempt that movement from NewBee. Bring that big AoE teamfight controller to the fight straight away. And in fact now with a pull up from KP, like Resolution can see him, Misery would have to get the perfect glimpse on him. KP is having a very long walkout with the ulti. This time around, Time Walk won't allow you to escape, but with extra support coming in from NewBee. Resolution, the Sun Ray goes a little bit wild trying to heal up KP as opposed to finding the kill, and then the perfect chrono. It catches out Misery and makes sure that any TPing support from DC would not be able to affect the outcome of that, aka death of the Disruptor.
A low percentage gank is what we call.
Here comes the movement right now from DC. They really want to try and find that tier 1 tower. If they can find a hero with it, they'll definitely take it. This is at the same time as NewBee rotated, moved to sides. They know Chuan's in the tree line. Just the way the smoke broke, that it was just very obvious that Chuan was there. The Impale will only hit over on Misery. And with a creep skip from Moo, that tier 1 tower will end up going down.
Resolution's not going to expect this one. It's an early Shadow Blade.
Oh, with a run forward, the call down. Resolution tries to create space, but KP makes sure he's going nowhere. Again, very deep on the chronosphere, but still ensuring that one hero,
that 15-minute monster that allows you to bully the enemy team, but he's not here.
Yeah, even if he comes back to life again, that cooldown is still on cooldown for another 21 seconds. And KP, he's just hovering around. There's no chronosphere available, but how? Okay, the Grim's going to come back into it, so that's going to be at least a nice little thing. But the tier 1 tower was still brought down. And the trade-off was the fact that Bounty Hunter got picked on the back line. He walked in range of the sentry ward. So it's still a 1-1 trade-off. Okay, this is nice. A glimpse on move. That Nova is well out of position. So you do not have that for the fight. This is a good one for DC. Now with the cooldown, KP has a time walk it out. The move's in close until the Sunray Kaka. They're just burning DC. Misery wants to run, but okay, a little bit of life. It's not going to be enough. Kaka will dive himself forward. So even with the Nova having no influence there, you got the glimpses back, you forced NewBee to fight, and they were happy to do so. Yeah, the Radiant Secret Shop.
Yeah,
they're hoping they can catch the Bat Rider and then just force into the buildings.
They knew the Bat Rider was farming up that camp. He now shows himself in lane. Mass TPs might actually counter this, but it's not enough.
Oh, they're bringing it in, and okay, they actually pull it back out again. They don't want to go for it. Except the fact that Mu is dead. And instead they get a trade-off. It'll be the tier 1 tower
or are
in the mid lane.
NewBee are not going to give DC a single tower if they can help it.
Bounty at least sees it. He's coming from behind, and they glimpse back because of that deep vision. The Phoenix is removed from this fight. You have Faceless Void available with Chronosphere, and with a finger stun, they're already killing off Misery. So you're taking a huge controlling hero from DC. They want to get a revenge onto the Lion. Chorn will trigger off the dust, but there's no one to really follow up, but everyone's rotated. And it's KP. They catch out Weeha, him in that top river, and even a double damage from Hal, just to make this fight even better for him. Weeha, TP out won't happen. The Yules will end up canceling it. Kaka, they're on the front line. Say goodbye to Weeha. NewBee just rotating so quickly, they realize tier 1 tower, like, don't hold it in the mid lane.
You force the enemy team to come to you. You're in the superior position, you keep pushing, even if it means just poking at the tier 3, force the enemy to TP back into your play, and that allows you to also hold map control as well.
Great ward from Suxta. He's able to see the movement coming up from NewBee in towards the mid. It still doesn't stop Weeha from being slowed down by that rod of Atox and into the Sunray. Weeha just can't walk away. They commit the Chronosphere as well. They really want that DK down, and they're able to claim him. Kaka is not a healthy man, but he's still able to jump himself out, but the Bounty Hunter is not so lucky. Easy rotation from NewBee on the back of the Exorcism. They're going to head into the pit, and Roshan looks prime for the taking here for NewBee.
Oh, Chaos are going to expect, right? They're going to expect there are 4 heroes sitting behind the Slark while he's pressuring tier 2. They're going to quickly wrap around into mid and catch Digital Chaos unsuspecting.
The smoke's going to break. Disruptor walked in just close enough for it. Well, they don't realize it's just how many heroes are behind him. KP now right behind Resolution. He's got the Chrono. This time he commits it just on the edge of it. And Resolution, his days are over. No way to get out of that one. He lets the cooldown go just for good measure.
And the advantage of that is, obviously, if you get the pick, if he's really worried about it, he could get BKB versus the Disruptor, Glimpse, and Static Storm, which is obviously DC's biggest counter to him. But
oh, he found a different one. He found the Bounty Hunter. And with the Dark Pack damage, only just enough. Okay, no, it wasn't. I was thinking with one charge, he had just enough life to survive. And now the Glimpse going to drag Hal back, but pounces straight out of the field. Timing on the smoke, it just goes away. They currently, as far as like observer wards go on the map, I don't see, actually, is there any wards? Doesn't really matter when you also find that kill. Hal making it look way too easy. Pretty coming out. The creep waves are at least far enough outside the base that NewBee might be thinking, hey, they're not going to be there, but okay, yeah, bomb. The scan flag's red. NewBee no, and NewBee will prepare.
Yeah, Hal. He's going to sit on the front lines. He's going to pop that smoke, I think.
Oh, they haven't done it yet.
Oh, they're actually...
Silver Edge, they move all the way in towards the pit. The Shiva's guard's out.
Yeah,
now the break, and there is a 3-man corner, catching him out. They see Weeha inside the pit. The Travis remaining from Sean, hitting the wall. This is DC, 1 foot in the grave, and they're about to be buried by NewBee inside the pit. Weeha's going to burn down as well, and this will leave the last man standing. Resolution, he is on the wrong side of the river, and he's gone. It's GG, and the team wipe. NewBee will advance 2-1 against DC. There's still massive props to DC. They took a game off NewBee.
I mean, that by itself was impressive. It shows the promise of Digital Chaos, but NewBee as a whole very clearly the dominant team here. Game 1 and Game 3, super one-sided. So much so that one team fight, not even a push or anything like that, is what forces DC to call it in both of those 2 games. So NewBee, again, still look like the strongest